Andy has got the most badass ice fishing rig I've ever seen in my entire life. And I've hosted, back in the day, I used to live in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I worked for a video production company down there, and which was then bought by Outdoor Channel and then became Major League Fishing. Kind of a cool story, but I digress. Down there, I hosted a show. It was on the Outdoor Channel. It's called Roll With It. It was a truck show, and I was the guy that I was the host of the show, and I was the guy that didn't know jack squat about trucks, and so I would go into these like truck communities and just get my hands dirty and learn about trucks and be immersed in the culture. It was actually a really, really fun time. We did a show one time on mini trucks with some dudes in Oklahoma City, and it was badass. But I remember we were so close to doing a show on these little like mini work trucks, and that's exactly what you are using for your ice fishing vehicle. And I've actually got a picture here I want to bring up. I mean, look at this thing. If you're looking at the podcast, the video podcast, it's up right now. Of course, you already know that. If you're looking at the video podcast, you know it's up right now. But I'm showing your rig here, Andy. You got tracks on it. It's got this great bed on it. With plenty of room. The cab is awesome. I mean, to me, it's a better setup than your typical like just side by side. It just seems like there's better creature comfort. I mean, I guess I'd like to know. Just tell me your experience with it. Actually, how we've talked about this in the past, but this is a new podcast era. Tell me about how you found. Just go through the whole thing. How you found it, what you did, and then to get it here, and then what you've done to it to customize it, because it's unbelievably badass.
Well, I was looking for something that to get around on the ice. I've used a four-wheeler, kind of wanted a side-by-side. I've always kind of been an oddball, though, and I like to be a little different. And in one of my searches, I ended up running across, one of these trucks, and it was just, because they're basically like Japanese delivery trucks.
Yep.
And they're right-hand drive. And I come across that, and it's just like, wow, that's pretty freaking cool. So then I started digging deeper into them and found out that, get them in four-wheel drive and this and that. And I was like, wow, and I had it pictured in my head beforehand. But then I went and I ended up getting it imported from Japan to a guy in Brainerd. And then mine is a Honda ACTY, it's called, four-wheel drive, has a 660cc motor in the back, or that's actually in the back of the bed, underneath it, of course. And then, first I started out with some ATV tires and rims, which lasted for about a week and a half before I decided I wanted tracks. So then I got a hold of Matt Tracks, and they wanted to see it, so I brought it up to in Carlstead, way up there, probably one of the most boringest drives I've ever drove in my life.
Where is that at? I don't even know where the hell that is.
It's kind of up by Lake of the Woods.
Okay. I've probably been down, dude, I've been all over the north, driving and stuff, like for shoots and stuff, so I'm sure I've been around there. Just
east of Lake of the Woods, and right by the border, and it's just so boring. But yes, I brought it up to them, and I kind of let them do their magic on it, and I and that's kind of how it got to where it's at.
So I'm sorry, go ahead.
Before I did bring it into Matt Track, so I did put a 3-inch lift in it.
Okay. Okay.
There's a whole underworld of these trucks that I discovered too. It's like there's people that have been doing motor swaps, and there's people that lower them, and there's people that turned them kind of into the Fast and Furious looking things. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And ever since I got mine, I've noticed that I hadn't seen one on the ice ever before. And then, now I spot them all the time. But I guess it's no different than if you buy a blue car, you start noticing blue cars more. But
right.
But
so
yeah.
How is it? So is the cab heated?
Yep.
So the cab's heated. I mean, it's basically got all the creature comforts of a typical just vehicle, like
It feels like you're kind of driving like in a little clown car though, because it's
right.
I mean, I'm not a huge person. I'm 6 foot, but it's small.
Sure.
My dad's 6'3", and he can just barely drive it. It's one of those vehicles that if you have a big buddy,
you just throw him in the back. You throw him in the cab, or you throw him in the bed.
Yeah, that you kind of notice that they're there because the truck will go like this.
Okay.
But
how is it? I mean, obviously with the tracks, how is it? I would imagine it's pretty good in the snow. Like just overall, your experience with different snow conditions, ice conditions, whatever. How is it?
Yeah, I've never been stuck. I pulled a Trailblazer out of a ditch with it once.
Nice.
It's real good in the deep snow and anything. I avoid slush.
Yeah. I've seen, for sure. Slush is, I've seen like side by sides with, with tracks that complete on, I'm trying to think where this was. Well, it doesn't matter, but, side by side with tracks that got completely stuck in slush. And I was like, that's interesting because I had a mentality that just, you can go over anything with tracks. Well, that's not entirely true.
Yeah.
Slush is a bad deal.
Yeah, you can't really crawl over something that's liquid.
Right.
Can't grip on anything, and that's, it's the same with like 4-wheeler and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it goes up hills and it's no speed demon by any means, but it has some grunt and some snort to it.
Right on.
It's real torque down.
Well, it's a fantastic piece of ice fishing machinery, and I'd love to see it sometime in person. Thanks for tuning into the podcast. If you've enjoyed our content, please consider subscribing to Another Fishing Podcast on iTunes, which is available also on just about every major podcasting platform. We'd love for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Angling Uploaded. And for exclusive benefits, become a member on Patreon. So go to patreon.com and search Angling Uploaded, become a member. Oh, God, we'd love you if you do that. Thanks, guys.